Yeah. Morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yeah, fine. Thank you. So Python is a general purpose programming. Any kind of applications we can develop today by using Python. It's not purpose-based language. Any kind of applications like automation applications, web applications, animation applications, gaming applications, right? Networking applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, right? Any kind of applications can be created. It has got multi-programming features because of which we call it as hybrid language. Before, okay, so like I discussed, Python Software Foundation, Python Software Foundation, right? Yes, PSF. Mm. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. This PSF, it was launched in the year PSF, it was launched in the year 2001, right? And the main objective of this PSF objective, right? To foster the development of Python, to foster the development of Python from version to version, from version to version. In the year 2005, Python Software Foundation, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award, right? It received Computer World Horizon Award. The president, right? President for this PSF, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum. The president for this Guido van Rossum, and the official website and the headquarters, right? Delaware, Delaware, US. An official website for Python. Official python.org. Okay. It's a non-profit organization. Was launched in the year 2001. In the year 2005, it received Computer World Horizon Award. President Guido van Rossum is the same personality who developed Python, who introduced Python. Headquarters Delaware, and official website python.org. Before I go with installation of Python versions. Python 1.x version, it was released in the year 1989. Next, Python 2 version, Python 2.x. It was released in the year 2000, means 2.x means 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, right? The first two version was released in the year 2000. Yes. Next, Python 3.x. It was released in the year 2008. Python 3.x version, right? The first 3 version was released in the year 2008. The version what we are using currently is 3 versions. The first version of 3, it was released in the year 2008. Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python. Python 3.12. Python 3.12, right? Stable version of Python. Python 3.10. Stable version means mostly used version. Mostly used version. Yes. Next, like Python installation. So before I install, right, I'll just go to the start programs, settings, apps, apps and features. Python 3.12, Python 3.12, uninstall, right? Uninstall this 3.12, right? So Python provides different softwares for different environments, for Windows, for Linux, for Mac OS. For Linux, no need of any installation. By default, Python comes as inbuilt within any Linux flavor, within any Linux operating system. So it comes as an inbuilt within any Linux operating system, right? But for Windows and for Mac OS, we are supposed to download and install. Again, in Windows, we have got 32-bit and 64-bit Python software it provides. So if your Windows is 32-bit, we need to download 32-bit Python software. If your Windows is 64-bit, we need to download 64-bit Python software. An installation in progress? Yes. Okay. An installation was successful. Just close it. Now, how will you check whether your Windows is 32-bit or 64-bit? Go to this File Explorer. Properties. 64-bit operating system. 64-bit operating system, right? If it shows 32-bit operating system, you're supposed to download 32-bit Python software. If your Windows is 64-bit operating system, we need to download 64-bit Python software. Okay. So to download Python and to install Python, right? Go to Chrome browser. The official website for Python, python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download Python. Go to downloads, all releases. scroll down to the bottom. Looking for a specific release, Python 3.12. Python 12.1 on December 8, 2023, right? Yes, it was released. Click it, and scroll to the bottom of this page. You can see files. For Mac OS, just you can go with Mac OS 64-bit universal installer. For Windows 32-bit or 64-bit. If it is 32-bit, download it. If Windows 64-bit, you need to download this Windows installer 64-bit. Yes, just 25 MB of size. It is just 25 MB of size, right? Yes. So download is finished. Just click that exe file which is downloaded. Just 25 MB of size. Just click that 25 the exe file. Now, don't immediately go for installation. At the bottom, you can see add Python to path. Select it. Add Python to path. Adding Python to path, right? And go for customize installation. Click this. And here everything is already selected. Documentation, pip ideally, test suite, all are selected. Just say next. Now here also nothing to select. It's already selected, right? And it is asking installation location, where you want to install. Right? In C, users, Dell, app data, local programs, Python 3.12. Means where the Python is getting installed in the, see the subfolders, right? Somewhere in the subfolders, like within the C, users, Dell, app data. Tomorrow, if you want to locate Python where it is installed, you need to enter into all the subfolders, right? So instead of that, I just want to install Python within the C drive. So just place your mouse here before this Python 3.12 and remove all this big path. Just say C/Python 3.12. So Python 3.12, a folder is going to be created within the C drive. And within that, Python will be installed. Check it, install, hardly takes 30 seconds to install Python. Yes. Almost done with the installation, right? Almost done with the installation. Once it is completed, let us check whether it is properly installed or not. Yeah, setup was successful. Close this. At the bottom in the search panel, type CMD and say enter. You will go to the command prompt. Type Python here. Type Python and say enter. You'll see like Python 3.12.1. Python version, you'll see the Python version and Python interpreter gets opened. Yes. You see like whenever you type Python, Python version will be displayed and Python interpreter gets opened. Any valid Python statements you can type, right? 4 plus 3. A plus B, A minus B. No need to define the data types directly. You can work with this. You can interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response. A into 2, A square is the 10 square. A equal to A plus B. Yes. Just say quit to come out of this. Yes. Yeah. If anyone using Python within the Linux environment, yes. If you want the latest version of Python to be installed within the Linux machine. So already Python will be inbuilt within the Linux machine, but still if you want the latest version, you can go with this sudo apt-get. So everything we need to install from the root user. Python 3.2, but this command, this command is going to install Python within your Linux machine, right? And Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Two modes of execution. Two modes of execution. First, interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode. Second is like batch mode. Interactive mode. Just now I discussed interactive mode, right? Statement by statement we can interact. Yes, it gives response for every statement. Here we directly type. Here we directly Python statements. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. And the user can easily interact. And the user can easily interact with the Python. We directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact. And the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Okay. So the advantage of interactive mode, the advantage, right? If you doesn't know about any Python functionality, you can just type in check and what output it is going to provide based on which you can analyze advantage to test the functionalities of Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python as a beginner, as a learner, this interactive mode works better. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. batch mode, right? We write, here we write set of statements. Here we write set of statements within the editors or IDEs. Within the editors or IDEs. And save it by using .py extension. We write set of statements, batch of statements within the editors or IDEs and save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python Python. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? Various editors, right? Within the notepad, you can write Python code and create a .py file. Edit plus. So these two are for Windows environment. Within the notepad, Edit plus, you can write the Python code and create a .py file. And within the Linux, we got VI editor and Nano, right? VI and Nano editors. Various IDs. PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse. PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook. Mhm. So PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, VS Code. So we may ask why these many IDs, sir? Various Python IDs, right? These are various Python IDs. Why these many IDs for Python? Why not one or two IDs? Python is used for different environments. Different environments are using different IDs. Like data science. For data science, right, Jupyter Notebook is mostly preferred. Spider is preferred. Even for big data, Spider is preferred. Jupyter Notebook is preferred. For typical web applications, PyCharm is preferred. VS Code is preferred. In this way, different environments use different IDs. Among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one. Mostly used ID. Mostly used. Okay. So I'll be showing you about all these IDs, how to download, how to install, and how to run the code on these different IDs, not on one or two IDs. I'll show you multiple IDs. Yes, once we are done with a little bit of technical content. Hmm. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application within a editor. Example like Notepad. Open Notepad and type the following. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. X is 10, Y is 20, right? Up to now, we didn't discuss anything about Python fundamentals, right? Python. So just I'm taking two numbers, X as 10, Y as 20. I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations like X plus Y, X minus Y, subtraction, multiplication, and division. X into Y, multiplication into and division. Print X by Y. X plus Y, X minus Y, X into Y, and X by Y. Copy this to a separate notepad file, right? Save it. A separate folder for this batch set, Python 5M batch, Python 5M batch, right? Yes. I'm saving it as sample1 dot, sample1 dot py, dot py extension. Yes. Save as sample1 dot py. And now submit this file. And now submit this file to Python as hmm. And now submit this file to Python as right. Go to the command prompt and just type Python. Just type Python. Don't say enter, it will go to interactive mode. Yes. Just specify the path where the Python is available within the C drive. Where specify the path where Python is available within the C drive. Python 5am, right? Python 5am batch. Sample1 dot py. So the file name present in which drive? That entire path submit to Python. The entire path submit to Python. Send 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by yes. So just we got this output, right? Yes. Just submit to Python. Type Python within the command prompt and just type the entire path, right? Yes. Got the output, right? Yes. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by Okay. But here, what is your observation? But here, we are writing the code at one place. We are writing the code at one place within the notepad you are writing. And executing at the other place and executing at the other place. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. But to write and execute at the same place, but to write and execute at the same place. Executing at the other place is within the command prompt you are executing. Command prompt. But to write and execute at the same place, write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE. We have IDLE. Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? Which comes along with Python installation. Which comes along with Python installation. Using which we can write and execute. We can write, execute at the same place. How to open this IDLE, right? Just you can type in the search, right? IDLE, right? Now you can see IDLE Python 3.12. Python shell gets open. So Python 3.12, Python shell has opened. This is one way of opening. Otherwise, go to the start programs. Another way of opening it, go to start programs. Check where your Python is available here. Python 3.12, you can just check it. IDLE, you can see that. IDLE, you can see here. Python 3.12, click it. This is another way of opening it. Python shell gets open. Here you can work with interactive mode only. Here, 3 plus in this. But if I want to work with batch mode, file, say new file. Write the code here itself and run the code here itself. X is 10, Y is 5. Print X plus Y. Print X minus Y. Print X into Y. Print X by Y. Save it first. Save. So here itself we can write the code, and here itself we can execute a run module, you can say. 10 plus 5, 10 minus 5, 10 into 5, and 10 by 5. Okay. Next is just I'll give introduction to this data types and variables in Python, how exactly they are stored, how to print their content, how to print their address, how to print their types. Data types in Python. Mm. Every organization, right? Every organization has got data and operations, data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using okay, every organization has got data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations using functions. For example, any organization like bank, it has got data and operations, customer data, employee data, and operations like customer operations, employee operations. So data represented using data types. Customer data means customer name, customer ID, address, balance. Customer operations like withdraw operation, transfer operation, deposit operations, right? Operations represented using functions. Okay. Now, yes, just observe this data types and variables in Python. If you talk about C or C++ or Java compared with Python, Python supports dynamic data types. Python supports dynamic data types. In other programming languages, if you want to define a variable like x as 10, compulsory this data type defining compulsory, right? You want y as 4.5. We need to say float. Z as hello. We need to say string. So without these data types, we cannot create these variables in other programming languages. But in Python, directly I can say x as 10, y as 4.5, z as hello. Directly I can say this, right? X as 10, y as 4.5, z as hello. Okay. So here we are no need to specify the data type. Here what kind of variable x is means based on this data type defining, you are saying integer variable created. What type of variable y is means based on this data type defining, you are saying it as float. Z, it is string. But in Python, you know, what kind of variable x is means what value you have assigned to it, integer value. So integer variable gets created dynamically. Y equal to 4.5. What value you have assigned to this? Float value, right? Float value. Right? So float variable gets created here dynamically, right? We are assigning a string to this. So what kind of variable created means as you assign string to it, string variable is going to get created. There is a function type function type of x is integer. Why it is integer? Because you assigned the integer value to x. Type of y is what type? Float type. Type of z, String type. Type of z is what type? String type. Type of x int, type of y is float, type of z is string. Okay. To make you understand much better, observe, I'll be discussing 4 cases. Case 1, if you define some variable like x as 10 in Python, what happens internally, right? Internally, one object is going to get created in the memory. One object is getting created with value 10. It is going to occupy some physical memory location address. It occupies some address location within the memory. So that address is given to x. That address, what x is storing, don't say x is storing 10. X stores the address. Whenever I say print x, it goes to this address and prints the content at that address. So print x means prints the content at that address. Print. If you want to print the address where exactly it is stored, this is the address I want to print. Prints the address of x. Address of x is what? 103070. Type, data type of x. Print a type of x. Type of x is what type? Prints the address. Sorry. Prints the content here, prints the address here, prints the data type of x. Data type of x is int type. Print x, id of x, type of x. Prints the content, prints the address, prints the data type of x. Case 2. X value is 10. Now, yes, from here on, right, I want the sessions to be interactive. Everyone try to respond, right? Can just unmute yourself and try to give your responses through voice or through chat. Okay, x is 10, y is 20. How many objects will be created? Yes, everyone. X is 10, y is 20. How many objects will be created? For 10, one object with some address. That address is given to x. Y equal to 20, one more object with value 20 with some address. That address is given to y. Try to answer print x. What is x value? It prints. Everyone try to respond. Print x.
10.
It goes, yeah, it goes to this address and prints whatever present at that address. Yes. Now try to say print id. id means address. Its id is a function. id of x. What it prints?
1030.
The address where exactly 10. And type of x. Type means data type of x. What data type it is? Integer. Because you assign integer value. Print y.
20.
20. Address of y, where exactly it is stored?
104080.
Yes. Type of y?
Integer.
Integer, right? Yes. Two different variables with two different values. Then two different objects gets created with two different addresses. Now observe this case 3 now. Here also xy. How many objects will be created here?
Two
Everyone.
object for x1 and y1.
Observe carefully here, only one object will be created for x. Before creating object for y, it checks any object with value 10 if it is already available in the memory. The same address will be given to y. X is 10, y is 10, z is 10. Don't think the three objects with value 10 will be created. Only one object will be, its address will be given to x, y, and z. So all the three variables x, y, z, they are sharing the same content written. They are sharing the same address. They share the content and the address. I say print x, print y, and print z. They are going to print the same thing. Address also same, right? Address of x, address of y, address of z. So all these three variables sharing the same content written. Observe this case 4. Here now. Everyone understood this case 3? X10, Y10, Z10, only one object, only one address, X, Y, Z, they are sharing the same content and the address, right? Yes? Yeah, case 4 now.
Yeah.
Here not X and Y now. X value was 10. I want to modify the X value to 20. I want to modify the X value to 20. First for 10, how many objects will be created here?
1.
Observe carefully here. First for X. For X equal to 20, one more object with some address. Yes. That's fine. Print X, what is X value?
20.
Print X means always it prints the latest value. X value was 10. Now the X value is 20. The latest value, X value is what? 20. What happens? The previous one gets removed. X can store only one address. X can store only one value. So print X 20. Address of X. Type of X. Int type. Understood these 4 cases, right? Yes. Case 1, defining a variable, printing the content, printing the address, printing the type. Yes. Case 2, two different variables xy with two different values 10, 20, and two different objects, two different addresses. Case 3, contents are same, only one object, one address. Case 4, x is 10, x is 20, x can store only one value, it stores the latest value, previous one gets removed, right? Yes. Okay. Mm, mm. Now see this, observe this. So today, like, so today we've discussed, right? Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes, and developing the first Python application and introduction to these data types and variables. So what are the types? In tomorrow's session, right? Fine. Just install Python in your systems, right? Download and install Python. Check whether it's working or not, right? Tomorrow also everyone can attend the session, same time. Tomorrow same time at 5 o'clock, using the same link to see more on this Python. Tomorrow you can attend, but from day after tomorrow, the link will be changing. You're supposed to get enrolled, right? Fine. Tomorrow I'll just discuss more on these data types and variables. So this is the course structure, right? Course content. Fine. What is Python? History, applications, advantages, what Python operations, operators in Python, IDEs in Python, control statements, looping statements, strings, collections, lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries in Python, functions in Python, modules in Python, packages in Python, errors and exception handling, file handling, object-oriented programming concepts in brief, regular expressions in Python, database connectivity in Python, date and time module, OS module, advanced concepts like iterators, generators, closures, decorators, web scraping, graphic programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, working with data, introduction to data science, Pandas module, NumPy module, and Matplotlib module in brief. This everything will be covered as part of Python Core in Advanced, right? I'll show you, right, Pavani, right? If you want to install, I'll show you how to install a database and how to work with it, and Python database connection, how to connect with the database. One database, I'll show you how to install step by step, how to download and install, right? Yes.
Okay.
So yes, these are the some models related to different domains, some models related to data science, some related to big data, some related to OS, some related to graphics, some related to database, regular expressions, date time, and how to create our own modules, right? Apart from this, people who go for full stack, Django framework in brief, Django installation, Django applications, Django views, Django admin, Django advanced concepts, and also UI technologies in brief, HTML in brief, CSS in brief, JavaScript in brief, and MySQL in brief. So this is what as part of full stack. Apart from full stack covers like many 5 topics, Python core advanced application oriented modules, web development technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, Django framework with applications development, REST API, and project. The fee structure for Python is 6,000, and the fee structure for total full stack is 12,000, right? Any queries you got, anyone? And the timing for this batch I said, right? For the next 3-4 days, it will be at 5 o'clock, but later it will start at 6 o'clock up to the end of the course. For the next 3-4 days, it will be at 5. Later, it will be at 6, starts at 6 o'clock. So before you do with the payment, I'm making it clear about the timings. Fine. Any other queries, anyone? Right. Fine. So I'm done with your queries. I will sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow. Same time
Sir,
at
it will take
5 o'clock.
70 days to complete the course.
Yes, yes. See, 70 hours it takes, 2 months duration.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So only for Python, it is 70 hours, 2 months duration, right? And for total full stack, it takes 2 months extra, right? 4 months. But if you want to go parallelly, it will also be completed in 2.5 months, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Will we get parallelly, sir?
Yes, you can go parallelly, right? Monday to Friday, you can attend Python. Saturday and Sunday, 2 hours, that web development and the Django classes you can attend.
Okay, sir. You will only provide, sir, that classes also.
Yes, I'll only be handling, right?
Okay,
This,
sir. Thank you, sir.
this Saturday, web development like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these classes are going to start Saturday
Okay.
at 7 o'clock.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Morning only, sir?
Yes, morning 7.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so meet you tomorrow. Bye.